Hi, I'm Jess and I was the technical lead on the SharePoint migration for Computacenter. This was a large and complex migration from SharePoint 2013 to SharePoint Online, and one of the big challenges was around the multi-region nature of the intranet. So they operate in a lot of countries. Some of the information on the intranet needed to be the same for all of those countries, and some of it was very different. Also needed to be available in a variety of languages. In the 2013 intranet, there was a lot of duplication, and effectively they had 17 copies of the intranet, one for each of the regions. Coming into SharePoint Online, one of the big challenges was trying to simplify that and have a cleaner architecture in the new world. In the migration, we restructured everything as we brought it across. So we had to do that in many stages. First of all, we picked a definitive default version of each page, and we would migrate that over and then use the out-of-the-box multilingual functionality to auto-generate a copy. And then we had to migrate over the translated versions of the pages and specify the exact location, the exact page name in order to overwrite those translations so that they stayed linked together and people could switch between the different translated versions. Most of the content of the intranet was in 3 languages, so we had an English version as the default, and we would then have translations in French and German. But there were some areas of the intranet where there were a lot of different versions, so we might have something in Dutch or Spanish or a different language as well. The multilingual element wasn't all we needed to do, because sometimes you would have content that would be in the same language but have different information. So for example, some of the people policies, HR policies, might be different in, say, the UK and the US. So even though the pages would still be in English, we would have to target the content within those pages or target particular pages within the navigation. One of the main areas of targeting was around news, because there were a lot of regional stories, local stories that were only really relevant to one area. But the other big area of targeting that I alluded to earlier was the HR content. So things like policies could vary enormously from country to country. We did a lot to make sure that people would see the information that was relevant to them first, but we also didn't want to secure away or hide away the other content, because you could end up with a scenario where a manager might manage a team across different countries and so need to be able to go and find that information around all of the countries that applied to their team. Or if somebody was looking at moving from one country to another, they might want to go and look up the information for the destination country. In the end, we were able to do a massive amount of deduplication, reducing the number of SharePoint sites from about 3,000 down to between 130, 140, and reducing the number of pages from about 42,000 down to about 8,000. So overall, massively simplifying the whole architecture, which will make it vastly simpler for people to manage on an ongoing basis, without harming the end user experience or reducing the amount of personalisation that they see. Overall, it was a challenging project, but we learned a lot, and the script we created for this project can be used on other multi-region sites in the future. Thanks for watching.